It's another day, another AEW announcement. My name is Ango, and guys, we're talking about AEW's new announcement, AEW issues with Rampage, Kyle O'Reilly's contract. We're also talking about Ric Flair's return match against Hulk Hogan. Crazy stuff, guys. If you want more videos like this, go ahead and subscribe, do all that good stuff. Really quick, I actually want to open up things with AEW Rampage. I kind of just want to get this out of the way. I feel like this is a very interesting story, and it's an interesting thing, too, because a lot of people aren't talking about this. But as you guys know, if you watch AEW Rampage on a weekly basis, you would know that there's been a different start time for every Friday night. Sometimes it's 7 o'clock, 5:30, depending on your time zone, it's even 2 o'clock. Like, it's so insane. It is so crazy to see that this is a constant thing that is happening for AEW Rampage. And the reason why I find this interesting is because I actually think AEW Rampage is very easy to watch. It's very digestible content. They do cram a lot of stuff in there within the 1 hour, but I actually think Rampage is an enjoyable show. Sometimes I wish more wrestling shows were just 1 hour long. Now, with that being said, Dave Meltzer pointed out on Twitter today that the start time for this Friday's Rampage is up in the air because they announced it for 5:30 p.m. on Friday, but because of hockey and other factors, there are multiple scenarios in which Rampage might not actually air at 5:30 p.m. So it's just incredibly weird that there is this. They almost play hot potato with the start times for AEW Rampage. To me, this is a problem because I feel like people want consistency, especially Friday night. It's the AEW key demographic is probably going out. They're enjoying their Friday nights. And I find that to be, at 10, 11 o'clock, okay, it makes sense to have a little bit of a later start. But these earlier starts are obviously, it shows in AEW's viewership. And I think that hurts the product overall, despite the fact that the show is actually really freaking good. Hopefully that gets resolved. It's just something I wanted to point out. It was something I did find interesting. I also want to talk about Kyle O'Reilly's contract situation because I actually think this is really cool. So for those who don't know, Kyle O'Reilly was recently a guest on the Toddcast, and he actually revealed that he's got a long-term deal in place with AEW. This is not something that we've heard ever. He signed a 5-year deal with AEW, and I actually like this a lot. I'm going to assume that Bobby Fish and Adam Cole are in the same position. I don't know entirely for that to be true, but obviously it's very clear that Kyle O'Reilly being in AEW, there is a greater plan, and obviously Red Dragon was part of it. Now, I do believe after Double or Nothing, whoever walks out as the champions, those people will eventually end up dropping the belts to Red Dragon. So I do think for the next 5 years, we're going to see Kyle O'Reilly as a big part of AEW, and whether that means he actually gets a singles run or not, I'm not too sure. But I find this very awesome because of the fact that AEW for a while wasn't actually signing people to long-term contracts. And that's worrying, to be honest. That's worrisome because if you're not signing people to long-term contracts, there is a concern about money. Now, Kyle O'Reilly is not the biggest free agent ever, and he sure as hell isn't going to change AEW's overall business by himself. So the fact that AEW can offer him a 5-year deal says that there is a lot of security within going to AEW. That also tells me AEW has very big plans for Kyle O'Reilly, which again, if you're just listening to that, I mean, it's easy to assume that those plans obviously are surrounded with Adam Cole and Bobby Fish in the mix. So yes, I think that's good. I'm glad that they think long-term. I think long-term contracts are great. And on top of that, I feel like if you are somebody who is in AEW and you want to renegotiate your contract when it expires, if you're looking for that security because AEW doesn't do releases, then you might be trying to get those 5-year deals. You know what I mean? Depending on the money and the financial circumstances surrounding it, it might be something to look into. I want to talk a little bit about Hulk Hogan. Guys, this is unbelievable. And I honestly, when I read this article today, I was just dumbfounded. So former WWE star Brian Blair let it slip that Hulk Hogan apparently will be coming out of retirement to wrestle Ric Flair at Starrcast. Now, for those who don't know, Starrcast is taking place during WWE SummerSlam weekend, the first time ever that this event will even be associated with a WWE pay-per-view weekend. And this is just unbelievable. Honestly, between Ricky Steamboat being rumored and then, of course, now Hulk Hogan, if it is in fact Hulk Hogan versus Ric Flair in this match at Starrcast SummerSlam weekend, like, honestly, I'm just so against it. I've been against Ric Flair returning. I am against Hulk Hogan returning. I'm not with it. I don't like it. I don't agree with it. I think it's stupid. And to be honest with you, I feel like as the wrestling world continues to just, there's so many great things happening in the world of wrestling. I just feel like this is a blow to the industry. I really do. I don't know somebody who is interested in watching Hulk Hogan wrestle. I don't know anybody who is interested in watching Ric Flair wrestle. Me personally speaking, I just think it's dumb. I think it is dumb. We should be looking towards the future of the business. I don't know why people all of a sudden care to watch Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan wrestle. These guys can't take the bumps that they used to take. I 1000% am against it. If this is in fact true, if Ric Flair versus Hulk Hogan is the plan, I'm not interested, and that's all I have to say about that. All right, guys, now it is time to turn our attention to this AEW announcement. And I know it sounds crazy that I actually enjoy this announcement because I don't watch Being the Elite at all. I used to in the very beginning. As time went on, plus, with my live streaming schedule, creating daily videos, my schedule as it stands does not permit me to watch Being the Elite. There's way too much content I'm watching. However, I do pay attention to what is happening at times with Being the Elite. And one of the things that have intrigued me is this. The idea of Being the Elite having the championship belt involved on actual AEW grounds. So if you guys don't know, AEW actually announced today that the BTE championship will be defended at Double or Nothing Fan Fest. Now, I'm going to actually pull this up on the screen so you guys can see the announcement from AEW. But I am actually really excited about this because whether or not the BTE championship is actually considered a serious championship in AEW, that's not the thing here. It is about experience. As a fan, I have actually said so many times that AEW's live experience is so great. One of the things about WWE that makes WWE really special is the SummerSlam access or WrestleMania access, right? Last time when AEW had their Fan Fest, it sounded like there was a bad response from the fans. It was disorganized, there was issues and whatnot. So the idea that AEW is going to put together the BTE Championship match for fans in attendance not only tells me it's going to be content for Being the Elite, but it tells me that AEW might actually factor this in more often. And I think that is awesome. I really do find that to be awesome. Plus, I'm also a really big fan of Adam Cole, and I'm a really, really big fan of Christopher Daniels. I think it's important that AEW continues to do cool things like this, not only for the fans that are in attendance, but also find a way to factor it in on content, whether it's YouTube or Dynamite on TNT, TBS, Rampage, all of these different things. They have a lot of outlets. The best way to grow your business is by producing content. What do you guys think? Let me know. I'm all for it. Can't wait to see your guys' opinions down below.